Hey, in this video, if you look below right here, you're gonna see a mess of stuff. I will demystify it because I wanted to do a video on how to use radius gauges, gauge blocks, 1, 2, 3 blocks, angle gauges, everything in between. So stay tuned and let's have fun. So what's great about this video is I'm going to show you how to make some of your own gauge blocks. You can buy them or you can make some. So stay tuned. Gauges, in my eyes, were always designed for machinists. But I have taken some of those gauges over the years because I've had a lot of friends who are engineers and machinists show me these different gauges. Now the first one I want to talk about is one that a lot of woodworkers don't know about. It's called a radius gauge. And it's simple. It's a piece like this, and when I push it out here, you'll see I have all the convex radiuses, and right here I have all the concave. So think about it. I have a router bit, okay, and you're thinking about doing a project, and you've had it for a while, and sometimes you forget what this radius is. Okay, it's pretty simple. I could take it out and match it right up to the radius. So what I like to do is get a little light behind it. I think this might be a 12 millimeter or /1/2 inch radius or radii. So I'm going to bring it in here and bring it right in. And I always use light behind there to check it out. And you know what? Lo and behold, it's a 12 millimeter. So the radius on this is very small. And this is what I put in my router to break edges. So I think it's about a 1/16 in imperial. So the conversion to that is about 2 millimeters. Come in here and let's check it out. On this is the miter saw stand profile. I know what I put on there. I put on a 9 millimeter, and that equates to what? 3/8 of a radius. So I had a 3/8 radius bit, but I just want to verify that. So if you use a radius gauge or you're trying to figure out or trying to remember what you use, you can always take it up to that profile and check it with the concave side of these. I've done a video on this. It's a 1, 2, 3 block. This is a must-have in any woodworking shop. Yes, machinists' shops have always used these. You can go to a store if you're hunting for rust and pick these up for $1 a piece. I bought this online and it came with these shims or small gauge blocks. A 1, 2, 3 block is 1 inch thick, exactly, 2 inch milled perfectly, and 3 inch in length. Near and dear to my heart is this set because everybody knows I use metric. And this is a great set too. This is a 25, 50, and 100. Basically a 1 inch, 2 inch this way, but 100 millimeters is roughly 4 inches. So that is a 1, 2, 4 block if you want to bring it into imperial. But it comes with all kinds of great shim stock as well. These are called gauge blocks. So one of the applications I use shim stock / gauge blocks is to set up machinery. I hate using scales on machinery, or if I use a scale on machinery, I calibrate with these gauge blocks. So one of the things I do is I always set my depth of a router. I bring it down here, and I don't like using scales. So what I like to do is set my depth stop rod there, and if my depth of mortise calls for 4 millimeter, guess what? I grab a 4 millimeter shim stock, and I'm ready to go. So you'll see this set has 0.5 millimeter shim stock gauge block. And in the last video of the miter saw station, I show you how to utilize that absolutely perfect, just like that. So one of the things I always do, or I'm always tweaking, is calibrating my fence. I've just set this to 100 millimeters. And I'll take my gauge block and bring it in here, and I know that's dead on now. Or if I don't want to use that scale, I'll just unlock it here and bring it right in and set it. Absolutely perfect for that rip cut, and it's set exactly at 100 millimeters. So this is the 1, 2, 3 block, or the 25, 50, and 100 block, plus the shim, and that's what you can buy. But when I'm out antique shopping or rust hunting, I always find these gauges. These were made by machinists. Okay, so buy them. You can get them for like 50 cents, and they're super accurate bar gauges. But also, these are gauge blocks. Remember how I just set it up for 4 millimeter in depth? I just zeroed it out. I could take a 4 millimeter domino, and those are super accurate. That way there, you don't have to read the scale. So this is a gauge block that I made, and you can too. They're really simple, okay? I needed to go for a groove in building cabinets. I needed to go 9 millimeters. So I took a 5 and a 4 domino, and I used some CA glue. I put them together. And with my MFK 700, and I use these all the time on the router table because it's fixed, I can dial that right in until I see no daylight on the base or up top here, and I lock it in. So with a good straight edge, you could check for flatness. If there's a bow in something, and you could check the gap. So I've always used Post-it notes, okay? And you can see from here to here, there might be a slight gap because I've been cutting on my MFT. But if I want to know exactly what it is, whether in inches or in metric, these are very thin pieces of steel, and they have numbers on them, so I know exactly what my gap is. They're called feeler gauges, and I could take that, and you see how that's not going underneath? Then I go to the next one. Feeler gauges are great to have in the shop. So I'm always checking machinery, especially where the accuracy lies. So this is my slide compound miter saw, my Capex. All the accuracy lies between here and here. So if there's a bow in here, guess what? That's not good. So what I always do is I check with my feeler gauge to see if there's any bow. And you can see right here, there is none. This is dead accurate. Feeler gauges are a must-have in your shop. Hey, the other gauge blocks that I truly believe are a must-have in a shop are angled gauge blocks. Yes, you can buy them. Yes, you can find them when you're hunting for rust. Okay, but let me show you how I make them. So the way I've made gauge blocks over the years is I trust this saw and this scale without hesitation. So if I'm cutting something at 22.5, check it out. I can then mark it 22.5 and take it over to my table saw and set my table saw up at 22.5. So another application that I use all the time for the angle blocks or angle gauge blocks I make is setting up the convex space. So there's a little scale on the side you can barely read, but I use daylight, and if I need a 10-degree cut, I can just dial it in absolutely perfect, blade to base. So it's pretty simple. I labeled it, I cut it down. You can make it out of a variety of materials. This may move on you, but it's a quick and easy where I've made them over the years. I think this is 30 years old. This is out of Starboard. It's very stable. I make them out of MDF. I label them, and now I always have a gauge block ready to go. So from angled gauge blocks to 1, 2, 3 blocks to shim stock, whether you buy them or make them, you're going to see how these gauges in your woodworking shop will become a must-have. Hey, as we always say from the SedgeTool shop, be positive, stay sharp, and we mean wicked sharp.